Wakil Menteri Luar Negeri Amerika Serikat Wendy Sherman menjelaskan mengenai kebijakan luar negeri Amerika Serikat terkait konflik Palestina-Israel. Berikut potongan wawancara rekan kami Frida Litwina bersama Wakil Menteri Luar Negeri Amerika Serikat Wendy Sherman.
Madam Deputy Secretary, thanks so much for your time with CNN Indonesia.
Very good to be with you, Frida. Thank you.
Our country has been very supportive towards peace dealing in Middle East countries such as Afghanistan and, of course, like the fight for independence in Palestine, for example. Will you support us, Indonesia, in conducting sustainable peace for those countries?
The United States believes that, as President Biden has said, that human rights are fundamental and at the center of everything we do. And one of the things that is very true of the United States and of Indonesia is we believe in human rights. We believe that people should have the right to be who they are, no matter their race, their religion, their ethnicity, their gender, or their sexual orientation. And so we stand with Indonesia to make sure that people around the world have choice and freedom and ability to have the world that they want. Indeed, Secretary Blinken was just in the Middle East. He was there, of course, in support of Israel, who is a longtime Democratic ally of the United States, and we believe Israel has a right to defend itself. But he was also there to say that the Palestinians must have an equal right to prosperity, to a just future as well. And he talked about what we were going to do to help the Palestinians reconstruct their life, how we can support Egypt in the ceasefire that they helped to negotiate, that we're reopening our consulate for the Palestinian people. And both the President and the Secretary have said how important it is to have a two-state solution.
And how do you see the U.S. In the Israeli-Palestinian conflict? What kind of role is the United States of America is playing or is going to play in the future?
Well, I think we will play a supportive role. As Secretary Blinken said, to get to a peace process, we have a ways to go. That's really not on the horizon right now. We need to make sure that the ceasefire is sustainable. We need to make sure that the people in Israel and the Palestinian Authority can rebuild their lives, that we can have reconstruction and assistance in Gaza. The United States believes Hamas is a terrorist organization and does not have the best interests of the Palestinian people at heart. But we want to help the people in Gaza nonetheless to reconstruct their lives.
And how do you see this conflict which is going on to resolve? What kind of solution do you think is best according, of course, to the current presidency?
Well, like Indonesia, we believe in a two-state solution. And so working together with other countries around the world, we hope we can get to that. We have to have leaders, both among the Palestinians and the Israelis, who are willing to sit down for peace. And we appreciate Indonesia, Egypt, and other countries in the region who want to try to sustain this ceasefire and get to the kind of environment that would allow for a two-state solution.
So a two-state solution. And considering how the U.S. has been actively bridging diplomacy on peace proposals between the two countries, will actually the end of the conflict and the independence of Palestine depend on the role that the U.S. is playing?
I think it depends ultimately, as is true in all situations, of what people want for themselves and what they're willing to do to ensure that future. The United States wants to support, as Secretary Blinken and the President has said, a two-state solution where both Palestinians and Israelis equally have the possibility for a just, fair, prosperous, and secure life.
Very well. Thanks so much again for your time, Madam Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman.
Thank you.
Itulah tadi bincang-bincang saya dengan Wakil Menteri Luar Negeri Amerika Serikat Wendy Sherman. Semoga berguna bagi Anda. Sampai jumpa.